What happened to 16-year-old Carter Spivak Villeneuve?
But I guarantee at the end of the day, it's probably not worth losing a life over.
Homicide investigators plea for leads in the teen's death. Plus, how the province says it's taking on predatory tow truck drivers head-on. And moments of levity for a little Airdrie boy in desperate need of a live liver transplant.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Camilla Di Giuseppe.
Good afternoon. For the first time, we are hearing from the family of a teenage boy who police believe is a homicide victim. The boy died on Friday. Stephanie Thomas joins us now from a growing memorial near where his body was found. So, Stephanie, what is the family sharing about the young son they lost?
Camilla, as investigators hope to fill in the missing details about the youth's death, the family is speaking out and they are saying that they are devastated and now there's a void. 16-year-old Carter Spivak Villeneuve is also described as caring, giving, and loyal. It was all said in a statement released via police that the family says that he would light up any dark room. He had ambitions that will never come to fruition because his life was cut so short. At 1:20 on Friday morning, police were called for reports of a person in medical distress. Once crews arrived to the 300 block of Abergale Drive Northeast, he was found deceased. Police say it's still unclear why this young person was targeted.
Yeah, devastated like anybody. The loss of a 16-year-old, somebody who's supposed to be probably having the funnest times in their lives, and now a whole family's smashed with this tragedy.
Police want any area residents nearby who may have porch video or dash cam that they could share that might help them in their investigation. And they're also renewing the call for any information from social media that may also help them. Camilla.
Stephanie, thank you so much. A dump truck lost control in southwest Calgary this morning. The truck plowed through a guardrail, sheared off some trees, and rolled onto its side into some water in a ravine. This happened on 101st Street, south of Old Banff Coach Road, just after 8 a.m. The fire department says the driver got out of the vehicle with no significant injuries. Tow truck operators later pulled the dump truck out of the water. Firefighters cleaned up fluids that leaked from the vehicle. A major incident shut down one of Lethbridge's busiest roads today. A semi-truck carrying a large piece of construction equipment got stuck under the Whoop-Up Drive bridge. A structural truss was heavily damaged. City crews and emergency workers spent most of the day assessing the situation. Some lanes on Whoop-Up Drive are now open, but delays continue. The provincial government is cracking down on what it calls predatory tow trucking. The province says new rules will target so-called bad actors in the industry who use high-pressure tactics to coerce drivers at collision scenes. It wants to prevent towing vehicles without consent, not providing necessary information to vehicle owners, and exploiting emotionally vulnerable people involved in a crash. Starting Friday, tow trucks will not be able to pitch their services within a 200-meter radius around collision scenes. Violators face fines of $1,000.
Collision scenes are obviously chaotic and they're stressful, often leaving drivers disorientated, injured, or worse. The last thing someone needs at a collision scene is to be harassed by dishonest tow truck drivers, pressuring them to agree to towing services.
Calgary and Edmonton already have similar bylaws in place. In Calgary, the maximum fine is $10,000. RCMP have charged 2 people with possession of stolen property after power tools were found in Banff. Mounties say they found a vehicle containing tools taken from a job site in Ardrossan, east of Edmonton. Investigators say the culprits were planning to sell the tools outside the province. The tools have been returned to the owner, and 2 people from Edmonton are due in court in Canmore this fall. A dog died in a house fire in southeast Calgary this morning. Fire crews were called around 5 a.m. to a home on Legacy Reach View. When they arrived, smoke was coming out of the home. The homeowners tell CTV News they believe their dog did something in the basement to start the fire. The fire department says this is now deemed a suspicious incident, and police are leading the investigation. Calgary police are searching for a missing man. 77-year-old Peter left his home just before 11 a.m. yesterday on Rundle Horn Drive Northeast and may have gone to a nearby Scotiabank. He's 5'6", 140 pounds, with a long gray beard. He suffers from a medical condition, and police and family are concerned for his well-being. One day after we brought you the story of a Marda Loop business blaming its closure on the city, the mayor is calling for a special meeting. The owner of Doodle Dogs told CTV News that construction outside the business for the last 15 months led to a huge drop in customers. She says in one instance, crews actually flagged people away from her store. Now, Jody Gondek wants a meeting with Marda Loop businesses and city administration.
2 months is the timeline for when we think construction will be completed. 2 months is a very long time for any business. And for these small businesses, that is 2 months of people being able to walk through their door and help them earn their income. So it's important to be speaking up right now and to talk to administration and ask what we're going to do.
Gondek says she wants to see collaboration similar to what happened on Stephen Avenue recently. Construction there was delayed for a time after business people banded together to express frustrations. The mayor and businesses are encouraging people to shop in Marda Loop, and they hope Mardi Gras will help. The event returns this Sunday, celebrating 40 years. The free family festival hosted by the Marda Loop Business Improvement Area includes music, games, a pet pageant, and food. More than 35,000 people are expected to visit the neighborhood as 33rd Avenue Southwest becomes car-free between 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. You can walk, ride, or take transit, and there will also be shuttle service to off-site parking at the military museums throughout the day. Now let's bring in our Gina Martin with our first look at the forecast. Sunday is still a few days away, but wouldn't it be nice for those folks out there to have a nice day out?
Yes.
Mardi Gras.
And it's looking good right now. I'm feeling pretty confident the weekend's actually going to be a lovely forecast. The days leading up to that situation, a bit of a different story. But looking outside right now, we're already seeing some overcast conditions out there, sitting at 23 degrees. Those winds coming out of the southeast, and our clouds coming from the south as well. When we look at our radar satellite, light precipitation in these clouds. Unlikely we'll see a lot of that fall over Calgary this evening, but the rain is on the way for a couple of days from now. We have a rainfall warning in effect associated with that wet weather system that, yes, well, the bulk of it will fall in the central part of the province, but we'll see our fair share here. But we'll get some nice clearing tonight and a thunderstorm potential tomorrow as well. Your 24-hour forecast brought to you by 5th Avenue Volkswagen, where you can win your ride. See dealer for details or visit 5thavvw.com.
Thank you very much, Gina. A Cochrane neighborhood turned white and very wet in a sudden storm. Coming up, a look at what happened during yesterday's late afternoon storm. Also ahead, E. coli cases climb from a berry farm near Calgary. And if you have a news tip, text us at 10400. The number of E. coli cases linked to an outbreak at the Saskatoon Berry Farm near Okotoks has risen again. Alberta Health Services says there are now 68 probable laboratory cases of E. coli. That's up from 49 on Friday. 4 people have been hospitalized, but only 1 patient remains in hospital. A more serious parasitic infection has been detected in 45 people. AHS says people who ate or drank at the farm between July 1st and 18th may have been exposed. The farm's restaurant and bakery remain closed during the investigation, but other areas remain open. The farm says water it uses for irrigation and rinsing have been deemed safe. Crews are battling more than 100 wildfires in BC, including an out-of-control inferno on Vancouver Island. The Wesley Ridge fire in the Nanaimo district is just one of the many fires that ignited in recent days, forcing the evacuation of dozens of properties. At one point, over 150 fires were burning, mainly due to hot, dry conditions, low humidity, and lightning strikes. Others are believed to be human-caused. While cooler and wetter weather is being welcomed, officials say it's not enough to de-escalate the fire risk.
It doesn't knock down the hazard for the whole province for the rest of the fire season. And what we're not experiencing many of the last few years is that we're not seeing what we would call a season-ending rain event.
In the last 24 hours, 12 new fires were reported, but some good news. The evacuation order by the Lytton First Nation is now lifted because a nearby fire has been contained. Some Northwest Calgary and Airdrie residents caught the edge of a big storm last night, but parts of Cochrane will hit full force. The Sunset Ridge neighborhood was hit hardest. This viewer video shows rivers that formed on the streets, carrying a layer of hail in low-lying areas. It created miniature lakes. The rainfall overwhelmed storm sewers. The temporary ponds that formed at the confluence of some of the pop-up rivers were the source of some fun for residents as they got out a paddleboard. No houses or cars received any heavy damage. Now, that's one way to deal with a hailstorm.
I wouldn't expect anything less from the folks of Cochrane, that's for sure.
Oh, so what are we going to expect to see tonight? Any active?
It's not looking as bad. I know we saw a second system that moved in yesterday evening too that we were like, oh, that could be another bad one. So Cochrane got kind of two shows last night. It's looking a little calmer on the radar satellite for today, but definitely some areas in the province still under that thunderstorm watch right now. Temperatures in the city, we're at 23 degrees at the airport, 22 downtown. Over in Strathmore, it's 25 degrees. Get your daily dose of greens at Serenity Golf Club, just 20 minutes east of Calgary. Outside of the city, temperatures are in the low 20s for the most part in the south central part of Alberta. It's going to get rocked by some rain here, and those are where we're seeing the watches and warnings currently. I wanted to show this 24-hour temperature change map too, because you can see where the next weather maker is coming from, where we're seeing those significantly cooler temperature values, or that change of 8 degrees cooler in Cranbrook this time today compared to yesterday. That's where all the precipitation is moving right now, and we'll start to track into the province as we get into late Thursday, early Friday. But lots of thunderstorm watches in effect for central Alberta right now, and that rainfall warning has been issued. 50 to 75 millimeters possible for that region just west of Edmonton. That does impact part of the Yellowhead Highway there. We also will get influenced by, or we'll see the influence of that rain system as it progresses throughout the next couple of days here. So there you saw it kind of cutting through BC and up into that rainfall warning zone, but it will start to turn its way back down, go north to south, and impact us in Calgary and Lethbridge. We even could see some thunderstorms leading up to that rain event, and then you see it really starts to push in as we get into Friday morning there, and we'll continue to see these pulses of rain throughout Friday before it starts to subside as we get into Saturday there, which will be quite nice actually after all that wet weather. Could see up to 16 millimeters. That's the approximation so far. That could change as that rain gets a little closer to us, but anticipate anywhere from 15 to 20 millimeters. And you can see everywhere in the south is going to be impacted by that low pressure system as it rolls through on Friday there. So that'll drive down our temperatures, but we do start to rebound as we get into Saturday. So a couple of days here of unsettled weather still that we have to deal with. When we think about tomorrow, a sunny start to the day, very similar setup to what we experienced today, increasing cloud in the afternoon and the chance of a thunderstorm. Temperature drives down to a high of just 17 degrees on Friday as we get that rain system moving in. And then finally some stability working its way back into the forecast come Saturday.
An Airdrie couple is spreading the word about live liver donation as they await a donor to save their toddler's life. They also want to help other kids on the wait list for organs. 18-month-old Colby has a rare genetic condition called Alagille syndrome, which impacts his liver and has been in hospital for months. He can't walk or stand and has to take several medications. Colby's doctor says he needs a liver transplant. It could come from someone deceased or a living donor who has surgery to remove a piece of their liver.
Well, we spent the last almost 9 weeks in hospital. It's been pretty tumultuous, I would say. It's been hard watching him get so sick.
Colby needs a donor with type O blood who is healthy and between the ages of 18 and 55. There are about a dozen other kids in the area who need a liver transplant too. Anyone considering registering as a donor can contact Living Donor Services. A A Canmore man who survived an avalanche last March while skiing in the Rockies is cycling nearly 4,000 kilometers from the mountain town to Montreal. We caught up with Giordano Pilarella in Regina. He's raising money for Mountain Muskox, a peer support group in the Bow Valley for those who've experienced trauma or loss in the mountains. Pilarella's physical injuries have mostly healed, but says his mental health took a serious hit.
I felt like there was kind of like a ghost of me, like an old part of my past that I wasn't able to relive. Like I'd go to the same places that I used to ski, but I didn't have that ambition to want to like chase those goals. I think the biggest thing that's helped me is like accepting that I'm moving on in a positive way. Like, you know, like maybe I'm not able to do those things I used to do, but that's okay.
Pilarella started his trek August 1st and hopes to make it to Montreal by the 20th. He has a GoFundMe campaign set up. You can search for Pedaling for Healing, 4,000 kilometers for mountain mental health. If you like fossils, Telespark was the place to be today. Coming up, a well-respected researcher draws a big crowd. TSX hits record territory today. To tell us more is Faisal Karmali, portfolio manager with the Popwich Karmali Advisory Group. So Faisal, what role did Shopify play in today's record showing?
How about a 21% gain on the stock just today with nice numbers coming out of its earnings, pushing the TSX to a record. Now, this also makes Shopify the most valuable company, overtaking Royal Bank in the TSX. So what a great move, and a 21% increase on the price and a record close for the TSX.
All right, this one is interesting. Candy maker Mars is partnering up with a biotech firm to help with the cocoa supply. How is that all coming about?
This is the technology called CRISPR, C-R-I-S-P-R. It's a DNA editing tool that this biotech company will help Mars actually go out to the cocoa fields and genetically modify the DNA so it can resist or have some sort of resistance towards disease or even drought. Think about the opportunities for candy makers like Mars. They're not the only ones. Starbucks has also been using similar type of technology to help with their farming of coffee beans. So you can kind of get an idea that we're getting to more modified genetic viewpoints on helping these companies still be able to provide the product their customers are always wanting.
Super interesting, Faisal. Thank you again.
Thanks for having me.
Air Canada is changing how Aeroplan members earn points. The loyalty program will change January 1st. Members will earn points on eligible Air Canada flights based on dollars spent rather than distance traveled. They will earn a minimum of 1 Aeroplan point per dollar. Air Canada will also introduce status qualifying credits, a new path for achieving Aeroplan Elite status. Police continue their plea for tips in a homicide investigation. Here's Ian White with a look ahead to CTV News at 6.
Camilla, 16-year-old Carter Spivak Villeneuve was found dead in a northeast green space. Coming up at 6, more from police as they look for security footage and any info on Snapchat, TikTok, or other platforms. Also ahead, BC officials are warning people to beware of AI images on social media that claim to show wildfires, but they're totally fake. Camilla?
All right, Ian, thank you. A full crowd at Telespark today, learning from a world-renowned paleontologist. Dr. Jean-Bernard Caron sharing some insights from over 50 years of Royal Ontario Museum research on the Burgess Shale, one of the most significant fossil sites on the planet. The site at Yoho National Park contains specimens that date back over 500 million years.
Burgess Shale is a world-famous fossil deposit which tells the story of the origin of animals. And as we continue research in this survey, we continue to learn a lot about the origin of modern biodiversity, including ourselves.
Caron was part of a recent search that uncovered some new specimens. The museum will be sharing new details on the discoveries over the next couple of years. That's always interesting. Well, in Calgary, the weather, maybe not so much, but that's okay. 23 degrees, that's nice. Mostly cloudy, but you still see some blue sky out there. Gina has more details next. how about a little multitasking tonight? You're flipping the burgers on the barbecue, but keeping that umbrella handy just in case.
Just in case. I mean, I don't think tonight, hopefully you'll need it, but definitely want to have it on standby as we progress throughout the rest of the work week here. Temperature today was seasonal. We were hoping for a high of 25. We got to 24, so a little behind that target, but still above seasonal for the usual high of 23 degrees. We're going to hold steady with this temperature pattern for the most part. The blip in the trend is going to be on Friday here, but you can see radar satellite very calm around Calgary here. Not a lot expected on the rain front for this evening, but that changes as we get late into Thursday and certainly on Friday when wet weather moves in, drives down our temperature, but we pick things back up on Saturday, Camilla, with sunshine. So just maybe squint and don't think about the next 2 days. Think about the weekend.
I'll take your tip. Thank you so much. The Bump Festival is taking place in our city right now, and close to a dozen artists are painting murals on buildings throughout Calgary. Sutina artist Nathan McGuinness is putting the finishing touches on his mural on Bow Valley College's West Campus. The surface of the building has proven to be a challenge because it's very rough. McGuinness had to use spray paint rather than a brush. The concept of the painting is letting them go. McGuinness says the college is represented by the mother bear who's taught her 2 cubs all they need to know to succeed in life, and now she's letting them go. McGuinness is a returning artist at the Bump Festival, and he is proud of his work.
They told me that I got accepted again. I'm like, dang, that's like 4 times now. Like, they told me it's super rare, and like only 37 artists ever do something like that. So I'm very thankful for my persistence and very thankful for the help that they give me.
The Bump Festival runs until August 18th. It's the 9th year for the festival, and in that time, it's added 152 murals to the cityscape. We have more information about the festival on our website, including images of past and present murals. WordFest is bringing a Canadian literary giant to Calgary. Margaret Atwood will take the stage at the Jack Singer Concert Hall on December 10th to celebrate her new memoir, Book of Lives. WordFest is expecting a packed house of Atwood superfans. Tickets go on sale August 12th at the Workland Center box office. Exclusive pre-sale access is available now through WordFest. That will be a great night indeed. And thank you so much for joining us. Now here's the early edition of the CTV National News.